now. Excellent. All right, we'll do it. Let's keep on rolling, and we'll do the best that we can. So we spoke. We're up to the point where we're trying to figure out how to be bigger. That's where we are. And sometimes this is the only way is bigger. Sometimes the only way out of a challenge is to be bigger than everybody else. Because as soon as you descend into the fight, you're out. For those of you who are watching American politics, know exactly what I'm talking about now. At some point, the sides are so divisive that there really is no more one. Like there is no way anyone today say anything in which one goes, oh yeah, that's right. It's amazing reality that I think it's just the reality of politics in general, but especially what seems like today, a bit of time where if you descend into it, you're stuck in it. And the only real way to get out of it is to go above it. You can leave it. You need to go above it. So for some people, they're not getting involved in politics, which is why lots of great people aren't running for office anymore, because it's not worth it. But you don't have luxury when it comes to your family and your friends and in your life. You can't just step out. So one of the most important aspects of engaging in this aspect of our lives is the recognition for us to be able to deal with a lot of our issues. Even just engaging in issues is fraught with tons and tons of challenge. I'm doing it with full knowledge of what I'm going into. I don't really know what's in someone else's mind. I don't really know what someone else is thinking. And as I make assumptions along the way, every assumption I make is another opportunity to compound more failure. So I'll say something to somebody else. I will have assumed things along the way, and half of those things will be wrong. So by pulling back, allowing yourself to react to things that are articulated and not to the things that are in your head, you're not only saving yourself of all the times that you fail because you're assuming something that's not true, you're conditioning the relationship. The person has to step up. The person has to be bigger too. The relationship now has a condition to it, and the condition is you want me understand what you're saying. You got to say it. We're trying to teach our children this, that when you speak, you don't have to speak fetch. There are kids that speak in a fetch. That's how they speak. They just fetch. And we're trying to condition some of our children to understand that you have a better chance of getting answered when you are speaking like a regular person, because we're not going to respond to the voice. So if you in with a fetch, understand that the fetch is not going to get you more because there's a whining underneath your words. And it takes, but slowly they realize, a second, if I want to get mommy and daddy's attention, I have to learn to actually say the same things without fetch. Well, you can't do that with regards to people. You can't let somebody say it again in a nicer voice because they're like wife or they're your parents, they're your friends, but you can stop what they're saying, which will then cause them to say they're not getting the message. And if this is important enough to getting the message, I got to say something. Now that's a tremendous step forward in a relationship. And as soon as we start to get to this place, we start to recognize that as I stop trying to predict what's in someone's mind, I'm not going to be less. I'm not going to be more out to lunch. I'm not going to couch oblivious. Remember, I was on some show in the beginning virus, some marriage show. So I was taking questions. They had like a live questions feed, and one helped me. So a wife gets on. She goes, "My husband, it's so hard in the house, him." And I myself, I failed. I said, I assumed that she was like I'm like, stop, like enough. Like what's so bad about your husband? Like, what is he doing? He's not like as good. I said something like, no, he's just totally disconnected. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like we've got X amount of kids in the house. Everyone's room up. It's crazy. And my husband wakes up in the morning. There's video games all day. I'm like, what? What'd you say? It's like, yeah, he just plays video games all day. I'm like, what? Is he 12? She's like, no. Like, he's out. Like, he's out. Kids are crying. He's got his headphones on, playing, I don't know, whatever video games adults play. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you stop assuming what someone else is thinking, you're actually freeing your mind to be a bigger giver. Now you have the ability to come in and to give it a much deeper way, because you're not giving off the negativity of what you've assumed is going on. You're giving just off a base positivity. Into a room and someone's mad at you and you say, hey, you ate today, you're saying it because you're responding to negativity. But when you walk into a room and you're like if they don't say it, I don't think it, and you're not assuming they're mad at you, and you say you look great today because you want to feel good about themselves, what you're doing is because you're not assuming things, you are freeing your mental muscle. You're freeing that willpower barrel to be able to give at a much more positive place. Allowing yourself to be a little bit more naive, not to the person's needs, but to the person's thinking. And they're very different. I know you need certain because I am close to you, because I am trying to be helpful to you, because I'm trying to extrapolate my needs, assume that you may need them too. I'm just trying to give to you. Your thinking about me is about what I'm taking from you. When I'm able to free myself of what's going on between us over here in the quid pro quo relationship, still active in the relationship, I don't become less, I become more. How many times children just need a hug? All the stuff, all of the things that's going in their heads. You know how many times 50% is just security, either verbal or physical. How many times couples are like make stuff up because they feel the other person doesn't love them or respect them or care about them? It's not trying to figure out another person's mind. And then you descend into that little fight. Are they right? Are they wrong? Are they right? Are they wrong? Do they deserve this? You're free of it. Now you go to the well. You wake up in the morning. You don't gotta go and like suck out all this energy. You go to the well. You look at your person, and you're thinking of how do I get them? And you walk the measure of positivity, and it dispels 50, 60, 70% of their negativity. It's a game change. And so much of relationships is just trying to find common ground, positivity. So much of a larger family is positivity. How many times have you done this? I've done this so many times in life. I descend into an email, a challenging or difficult email correspondence. It never works out. It doesn't matter what the issue is. It doesn't work out. You come into it with like, I don't know what you're thinking, but let's try to do this right? Come in and you're above it. Being above it sets a new way for everybody else. When you think about the people that you respect most in your life, usually they're people that are above it. And you and I start to go into scenarios and act of it, not too good for it, but above it. Bigger than that, what you're doing is you're conditioning a new behavior. Remember, if people's minds are all plastic, which means they act in a way in which they see. I was thinking today about this concept, about fashion. I don't know why, because looking at my glasses, I was like, they're like a little bent a little bit. I was like, maybe I had new glasses. I don't remember the last time I had new glasses. And I'm like, I don't know I don't know. I want to, what is in style? And then I just started thinking style. I guess my head just went into like, how does style work? Those who want to be in my head for a few minutes, I'm thinking, why does style work? Like, this is a how come something's in style? You ever notice that? Like, you ever like go to somebody, you ever like see somebody wearing it out and like it's in style, and you're like, you're amazing. And then if that it's different with guys, I find, at least the people that I'm around. The guys that I'm around, our styles don't really as frequently. Like, I feel like my wife and my girls, their styles quicker than me and my boys. I'm not saying it's like this for a guy. It is for me. One day, like, you ever like go to, like, you're at like a Passover Seder and you get pictures of like your grandparent or whatever, and you're like wow, like 1 year, you're like, what were you wearing back then? And then that thing back in style next year, and you go back the next year, like, you were so in style, right? And your girlfriend's like, what? Like, it's the same picture. Style is neuroplasticity, right? What happens is someone makes up a new thing. Like, it's not real. Like, it's not like the people that are making fashion, they have this like magical ability to find people's needs. They're just making it up. They're making it up. I mean, they're good at it, but they're making it up. What they're doing is they're coming up with new concoctions, and they're putting on really beautiful people. Then they're putting it in front of us 24/7. So people are all over the place. So they're hiring people, and they're paying that are naturally beautiful to wear their styles, and then they're putting billboards and on screens. And when you look at something from whatever store that you've been, and you see someone who can wear anything and look good, and they're wearing that outfit, your brain goes, wow, that outfit looks really good. And then there's some people that are the first people in style, like, and then all of a sudden you see it again, and then it's indoors, and you see it again. Brain neuroplasticity start to connect that thing, whatever you're wearing, with that's the new thing. Then all of a sudden you see it again and again and again and again and again and again until that comes what you wear. And then you wear it. And then the next season or the next year, people get paid. These people gotta still support their yachts. Like, how else do they live in the Hamptons? And they come up with a new, big glasses, small, innocent, whatever it is. This is in style. Style basically is just role modeling. It's just physical role modeling. Something goes in style when enough start to put it on. Well, why can't we start a style called being of it? Why can't we start in our relationships a style that's bigger than that? We're not going to end into controversy. We're not going to get involved in small little nuances. Right? And it was the work of Irving Yalom. The people that were suffering from cancer, these are patients. They didn't have stubbed toe. They were dealing with significant illness. They felt that the quality of lives increased because a lot of the small little things that drive us crazy were just all of a sudden fell by the wayside. They were able to look at the same goal with a certain level of depth. Their relationships changed. Their life changed. They became bigger. And then that role modeling to pervade everyone around them acted. They role model for how to be bigger on a new style. And everyone over time got used to it. And that's how our family talks. And that's how our friends operate. It's real leadership. Leadership really is. Leadership isn't like, can I yell at you and make you stuff? Leadership is, can I role model for you you're supposed to act? Been working on myself. And when we do it long enough, the people around us start to pick it up. And as I start picking it up, our lives begin to change. Continue this. Hopefully, I'll figure out what went on this morning on the tech issues. But let me tell you what I want to talk about tomorrow. It's nice and good, right? Right. Leadership people want to follow. Issue that I know some of you are thinking, wonderful. That sounds great, Charlie. Guess what? I've been trying to do 6 months and my husband's like not even paying attention. That sounds awesome, Charlie. I'm happy. Guess what? I have a teenager. And when I start being, how do we maintain the bigness? And it seems like the people around us are not following it. We'll get there tomorrow. Let's help. Hopefully everything will work on the tech side. All right, everybody. Thank for being with me today on the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. It's one thing on the Monday of Labor Day weekend. This is Sunday. You're like in the middle of the weekend. This is like in the middle of the night. It's one thing to get up at like 5 if you usually get up at 6, but to get up at 4 when you get up at 6 is a lot. So I want to just appreciative to all that are with me who came on the Sunday of a long weekend. It means the world to me. Looking forward to tomorrow, hopefully tech free, or tech, smooth. And we're really going to try to stay. This is the goal for this week, is being big. And I want to tell you why. Because we're up for those who are celebrating. We are 2 weeks away from the greatest day of the year, which is Rosh Hashanah. And Rosh Hashanah is the day where it's about one thing: being big. Gotta get there. Wait. Thanks so much. Have an awesome day, and thanks so much being here. With God's help, we can't wait to see you again tomorrow.